What's up? Decided to make a video on this. I wasn't going to initially for the 5 or 10 people that might actually watch it, but in the short, you saw the Cosmo, and we had that coil mishap, and I ended up replacing a couple seals in the engine because of the coil. Nothing major. This is where we're at so far. I already got the long block together. I still got to do the lower intake manifold to match. I got the radiator out right now. I'm going to reroute some of this trans-cooler stuff. Did electric power steering and electric water pump deal on this, and the electric water pump or power steering pump is in here. I'm gonna pull that back out because I gotta paint the bracket and stuff. I'll show you exactly what I did. It's a Volvo pump, nothing crazy. I got 2 fittings coming for that today. A couple fittings for hardline anyways, and gonna do a hardline from off the oil feed to the turbo. Actually, bigger turbo on this than the TX72 that was on it. This is a 366 SXE. So we're getting this together. We're getting a lot of this crap out of here. The heater hose used to run across the front of the car, all the way across the front of the radiator, and then had a coupler and deal and stuff like that. That's being eliminated. I drilled a hole in the side of this end tank. Put this 3/8 aluminum tube in there. I'm gonna go TIG weld that in. Also for the coolant temp sensors for the water pump and stuff like that, I'm gonna TIG weld a bung here and then a bung here, because unfortunately I have to run a second coolant temp sensor because this is piggybacked with the Adaptronic and they don't like to share coolant temp sensors. So for now, that's how it's going to get set up, but we are preparing to do a transmission swap in this. We're going to be doing a ZF HP8 45 and eliminating the factory ECU and the transmission ECU, but right now we need to keep the factory ECU kind of happy. That way it'll still shift. I'm also going to be switching over to a full function engineering crank trigger on this too. I may have to leave this in for the meantime for the factory ECU. We're gonna unplug it once I get it running. See, if not, then I'll cap it off. If that would be awesome. It's just one more thing out of here. Yeah, so let me get this TIG welded in, and then I'll go over the power steering stuff and stuff like that. So I'll be right back since I don't have a camera guy. Weld it up. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. Tried to roll a bead around it and melted it a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. So I've got a little nipple on it now. But there we are. All TIGged on. Heater hose done. So now it's get this in, cut this back. So we're going to have to cut this back here roughly where I've got it zip tied right now. And then heater hose it right over to the... right over. It's done. Simple, easy peasy. Let's get this done. Let's get it in there, and then we'll start working on these electric water pump deals here. I gotta cut the silicone back a little bit, get these bungs in, and we'll be on our way. All right, got the radiator in, got the fittings, came in the mail. So this is where we're at. I gotta drill some holes in this pipe for the coolant temp sensors. The other ones, and that's what we're looking like down here. Easy peasy, simple. Couldn't get it any easier. Water pump, I got a longer aluminum tube over here, so what I'm going to do is actually rotate this more, if I can get it in shot. Rotate this more so the 90's pointed more over here and the 45, so it angles down a little more. It'll have a bigger slope down and stay away from everything. The fittings I got are just compression fittings to 1/4 inch line, so I have to run to the store and get some 1/4 inch line. And surprisingly, my power steering fitting showed up too. I guess I ordered more of those than I thought I did, and that'll fit in the Volvo pump. I have a little power steering cooler deal in the car. The power steering cooler lines are insane. That's that big giant tubing thing that I have hanging up in the barn here. I just got a regular cooler, which will set right down in here where the factory one was, crosswise. And this, like I said, I'm gonna rejigger, move it over one way or the other, take this line that feeds wraps all the way around and over, and then over here and then back. I'm gonna come off straight, come over here underneath, feed in, and clean that all up quite a bit. I may cut the other one and then feed it back up through and around, and then all this stuff is out of the engine bay, which just cleans it up a lot and simplifies the setup. Stuff's not dangling, all that happy stuff. Anyways, so I gotta run to the store, get some 1/4-inch tubing, probably some NiCop, a little copper piece, look nice there, and get that done. So we'll address this power steering pump when I come back and stuff like that, and show you what we got going on. Should be good. All right, got everything TIG welded. This is where we are at. I wish I could do some action video, but you know, it is what it is. So got that TIG welded for the stock coolant temperature sensor, the fan controller. This is what we're pretty much gonna look like. Get these all cleaned up, painted black, and then that's all good. Everything's all good. There's the hard line that I was talking about making. It's some NiCop, nice and clean, simple, stuff like that. So now I need to get that mounted and start working on the trans cooler and then lines. Like I said, the fitting came in. Got to tighten that down, tighten the one on the power steering line or pump, and then figure out how I'm gonna run those lines. So let me get to it. All right, I probably look like a wreck and I haven't been recording anything. A couple of late nights and we're about buttoned up here. I still got to dress this power steering. Took out some of the wiring out of the original factory harness, slimmed it up a little bit. I got to extend this coolant temperature sensor, no big deal. Got the downpipe on. I did warp the flange while I was welding it, so we're probably gonna have an exhaust leak, so I got to order another flange. I had a couple issues with my MIG out here trying to spot it, and then when I took it off, it fell off, and then I went inside, welded it, and it got a little cockeyed and that good stuff. Got to finish up this wiring harness, making a little battery hold down for this, and probably going to do coil unplug. These are fine here, but the coil unplugs worked out well on the FC. Buttoned all that up for now. Nothing's permanent right at the second. Pulled that harness through, put the grounds back there, cleaned all this up a ton. Still stuff laying around, whatever, it is what it is. Got to run the wiring for the electric water pump, thermostat, all that's buttoned up. This has to come off. I got to put the gaskets in, hold the wiring down, and I don't know how well you'll be able to see because it's very, well, it's getting dark here, but yeah, can't see anything. Started slimming that up with the Adaptronic there. Ran some of the transmission wiring straight to the ECU, bypassed some of this stuff for now, just to get a little more room under there, because I couldn't put the kick plate back on, and it bothers me every time somebody gets in the car and something's gonna mess up or get stepped on or stomped on or whatever. Got to finish buttoning up the alternator, put a new belt on it, and then we'll get to this power steering setup. I'll show you what fittings they are. They're just 6A fittings to a flare. I don't know how well you can see in there, probably not at all without any light. I gotta get some light. I'll give you the specs on those. They work for just about all Mazdas and the Volvo pump as well. And that's where we're at right now. Tomorrow I'll get that power steering pump out and show you what's up with that. Get this thing full of fluids and start running the electric water pump. And we should be pretty close to firing and then listening to the exhaust leak on this flange on the turbo. that's going to make me crazy. But it is what it is for right now. Yeah, so let me go sleep a little bit. I need to, because it's been a long couple of nights, as you can see. You know, everything's all coated and all that good stuff. So not far off. All right, it's been a late couple of nights, like I said, when I was saying, let's get some sleep. But got it all back together. It lives. Went for a test drive. Got a leaking Marmon flange. I got another one coming back in. It warped when I welded it on, so it is what it is. So to address this electric power steering pump, I didn't get any shots of it. We made a little cover here, bolted it all down, aluminum. Gonna paint that black later, whatever. For the fittings, it's real simple. You only need 2 of these. It's M16 1.5 O-ring fittings for like a Ford to JIC 6AN line. And where that comes into play is you can go to a hydraulic shop, whatever, and have them give you JIC fittings. I'll try to get down in here. And then just make a hydraulic line, which is never, ever going to explode on you. I've got some pictures of the standoffs I did. Obviously, I just took the bracket and welded straight up standoffs coming up with threaded rod. Not threaded rod, but I welded stainless steel bolts to it, and just came straight up. Plenty of room there. And then the oil, or the cooler for it, I just kind of looped the lines back around here and put a little cooler down in the bottom, kind of in the same place the stock one was. Perfect. Works out well. Power steering fluid stays ice cold. And like I said, this flange warped the shit on me. It's got a huge leak, but so for how the power steering works, it's awesome. I mean, you literally click the key on, hear it turn on, nothing crazy, and then it becomes as easy as that. Like, literally effortless for the power steering. And this thing should, literally, it's going to sound horrible, but like I said, it's live. Everything in the car works perfectly. I'm going to set up a new trigger for when I put it in the drive. You probably can't hear me. Let me shut it off. I'm going to set up a new trigger to the Adaptronic for when you put it in the drive to idle up. It wants to bog down real bad. I hate how tight the torque converters are in these cars. If it was loose, it'd be a little bit better. But like I said, we are going to be swapping out the transmission at some point. So it is what it is. And like I said, I slimmed down the harness, took a lot of the factory stuff out. It looks terrible right now with some black tape because it's hard to get sheathing over pigtail ends, and I didn't want to rip everything all apart. Kick panels back in the car, this and that. Way cleaner than it was. Gave me a lot more room after I slimmed it out. Took the patch harness out. There's only a few wires left to the stock ECU. So soon, hopefully I can get that out of there and I can get my ECU down there instead of in the dashboard and get that all cleaned up. It'd be phenomenal. That's the one thing I hate about these cars is the transmission. And like when you leave the line, it wants you to bog down, lock the converter, and shift into second gear instantly. And then when you stomp on it to get going, you all of a sudden turn into asshole mode driving, blowing the tires off when you're running any amount of boost. So yeah, we'll get that all addressed. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, the few of you that are, for this Cosmo video. But there it is for now. Sorry I couldn't make better video, I guess. I'm just real short on time lately, and that's the reason why I haven't really uploaded any videos at that point as well, with everything else going on, like this FC REW half bridge build, the helping a friend out with getting his FD going that's been sitting for years, the wide body on the convertible, the Z3 I'm hoping to get to here pretty soon, and turbo, or Earth's Turbo RX-8. And then we got the 73 Corvette over there and a couple other FDs. And then we got this here Merker in the barn. So I don't know. I'm probably not going to do anything on this thing. We're just basically getting it running and playing around with it, because why not? It's just a very odd Ford Escort, really, and that's what it is. So like I said, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, whatever. Thanks.